Hello comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. I am your host, Bill Miller. Welcome to the 7th installment of our Top 500 Pre-Code Horror Comics. Historian Ron Goulart identifies Avon Publications' Eerie No. 1, dated January of 1947 and sold in late 1946, as the first out-and-out horror comic book. Its cover features a red-eyed, pointy-eared fiend threatening a rope-bound beautiful young woman in a scanty red evening gown, set amid a moonlit ruin. The anthology offered 6 primarily occult stories involving the likes of a ghost and a zombie. While all but one writer are unknown, Edward Bellin, who teamed with young artist Joe Kubert on the 9-page The Man-Eating Lizards. The artists include George Roussos and Fred Kita. After this first issue, the title went dormant, but reappeared in 1951 as Eerie, beginning with a new No. 1 and running 17 issues from 1951 to September of 1954. Goulart identifies the long-running Adventures into the Unknown from fall of 1948 to August of 1967 from American Comics Group, initially under the imprint B&I Publishing, as the first continuing series horror comic. The first 2 issues, which included art by Fred Gardenier and others, featured horror stories of ghosts, werewolves, haunted houses, killer puppets, and other supernatural beings and locales. The premiere included a 7-page abridged adaptation of Horace Walpole's seminal Gothic novel, The Castle of Otranto, by an unknown writer and artist Al Olner. Before we get to our comics, let's have a quick reminder of the criteria. The comics had to have been published prior to carrying the Comics Code Authority seal, and the title had to primarily be a horror title. Some of the eligible titles are from other genres, but they switch to a horror context for a period of time. Lastly, these are not necessarily either the most popular or the most expensive horror books. They are simply the best horror comic book covers, in my humble opinion. It was like splitting hairs when it came time to rank these issues, but I treasured every moment of it. I made a series of 25 videos with 20 entries in each one, so please join me for numbers 380 to 361 as we count down the top 500 pre-code horror comic book covers. Alright, starting off today at number 380 is Beyond, issue number 24, from Ace Magazines, published in January of 1954. Now, we're not certain, but the cover artist is believed to be Jim McLaughlin. We have a gaggle of gargoyles busting forth from a lovely violet background. Bleeding out at number 379 is Haunt of Fear, issue number 7, from EC Comics, produced in June of 1951. The cover art is by Johnny Craig. Beware of the basement. It just might be harboring a zombie in the floor who has a thirst for a barrel of alcohol. Hiding in the shadows at number 378 is Dark Mysteries, issue number 9, from Master Comics, out in November of 1952. Unfortunately, the cover artist is unknown. A voodoo cover with a raft that would be the envy of Huck Finn, piloted by a couple of creepy skeletons. At number 377 is Marvel Tales, issue number 106, from Atlas/Marvel, hitting the stands in April of 1952. The cover art chores were handled by Russ Heath. A wonderful vantage point below ground level in the graveyard. Beware of what you're after. You just may get it. Crawling in at number 376 is Vault of Horror, issue number 19, from EC Comics. hitting the shelves in July of 1951. Cover art duties handled by Johnny Craig. A blonde in a red shirt pining for her lost love. Her prayers have been answered as she is about to be reunited with her lost beau. At number 375, we have Mysterious Adventures, issue number 12, from Story Comics. Produced in February of 1953. Sadly, we do not know the identity of the cover artist. A blonde in a red dress threatened by a huge, wonderful baddie. Appearing at number 374 is Journey into Mystery, issue number 8, from Atlas/Marvel. Published in May of 1953. The cover artist is Russ Heath. A beautiful black cover with a spectacular ghoulish zombie pursuing a man, and you guessed it, a blonde in a red dress. At number 373 is Horror from the Tomb, issue number 1, from Premiere Magazines. Out in September of 1954. We're not positive, but the cover artist is believed to be George Woodbridge. We have a blonde in a red dress and her rotten partner, who have returned to retrieve some buried loot, but they may get more than they bargained for. At number 372 is Web of Mystery, issue 22, from Ace Magazines. Published in January of 1954. We're not certain, but the cover artist is believed to be Jim McLaughlin. Now, I love my Witch Doctor covers, and this one is sensational. We have a blonde in a red outfit and beautifully detailed masks all around. Spiriting in at number 371 is Adventures into Weird Worlds, issue number 9, from Atlas/Marvel, hitting the shelves in August of 1952. The cover artist is Russ Heath. Now beware those beer goggles, fellas. It'll bite you every time. At number 370 is Haunted Thrills, issue number 8, from Feral, hitting the stands in April of 1953. Unfortunately, we do not know the cover artist. A beautiful combination of colors leading the eye to a finely rendered mad scientist and a purple-clad skeleton who, by the looks of that smile, released a silent but deadly stink bomb. Chopping away at number 369 is Strange Suspense Stories, issue number 21, from Charlton. Out in September of 1954. The cover artist is believed to be Steve Kirkle. This is a rough cover featuring a hapless blonde hanging on for dear life to the blood-stained walls of an alligator-infested pit, while an evildoer smashes her fingers with a hammer. Fleeing into number 368 is Journey into Fear, issue number 6, from Superior, produced in March of 1952. The cover artist is unknown. A clean and simple cover with the floating head of a female vampire and a torch-bearing hunchback who presumably does her bidding. At number 367 is Strange Mysteries, issue number 13, also from Superior, published in September of 1953. Unfortunately, the cover artist is unknown. We have a blonde running in abject terror from a horrible creature, surrounded by eyes of all shapes and sizes. Scaring into number 366 is Witch's Tales, issue number 9, from Harvey, hitting the stands in April of 1952. And again, the cover artist is unknown. There's a lot to unpack with this cover. We have shades of the Far East with dragons and ornamental carvings, a man in bondage, and a blonde in a red outfit, ready for a dip in the hot tub. At number 365 is Dark Mysteries, issue number 16, from Master Comics, published in February of 1954. Cover art by Hy Fleischman. Gorgeous blacks, skeletons, and a hanging cover. Nuff said. Frightening us with number 364 is Spellbound, issue number 13, from Atlas/Marvel, hitting the shelves in March of 1953. Cover art by Carl Burgos. Such an incredibly well-drawn image. We have a woman in a red dress, but the grave-digging skeleton steals the show. Screaming away at number 363 is The Thing, issue number 11, from Charlton, produced in December of 1953. The cover artist is Bob Forgione. We have so many things going on with this cover. There's a skeleton, tiny demons, an unconscious blonde, and a nasty baddie with a cleaver. At number 362 is Strange Mysteries, issue number 10, from Superior, hitting the stands in March of 1953. As with most Superior comics, the cover artist is unknown. A splendid spiderweb cover with a variety of ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. And haunting us at number 361 is Uncanny Tales, issue number 20, from Atlas/Marvel, published in May of 1954. The cover art is by Robert Q. Sale. The orange background is dynamite, but I'm particularly drawn toward the green disembodied head. And that will do it for numbers 380 through 361 as we count down the top 500 pre-code horror comics. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got to see some books you either haven't seen before or haven't seen in quite some time. Please leave a comment and tell me your thoughts. Do I have some ranked too high or too low? Were there some that shouldn't have made the list at all? I'd love to hear your feedback, and don't forget to join me for the next installment as we count down numbers 360 through 341.